This is Irontrader. It is hump day, which means it is crude day. Now, last night, the API report came out, and crude had a build of 4.1 million barrels. Gasoline had a draw of 2.5 million. Distillates had a draw of zero point 0.4 million, and Cushing had a draw of zero point 0.2 million. Okay, so today the EIA report will be out today at 10:30, so we got to see if that all confirms. Okay, so again, as usual, we're going to review crude oil here and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, it came over the wire yesterday that even though the U.S. is filling it, the SPR, they were filling it at 3 million barrels per month, and they were going to pick up the pace to 4.7 million per month here starting at the end of June. The problem I see with that is now is they came out with a report there yesterday. I don't know if it was confirmed or not that they might want to try to release some oil back out of the SPR. Okay. To see if they can get prices down. Remember, this is election year. They're going to do whatever they can to get reelected here. Okay, so always look at when you have the politics involved in this. Crude oil is going to be always affected in the situation here. Okay, so always just keep that in mind. Okay, let's take a look here at the chart. Now what we have is here is your daily chart. Now, when we look at this 8 SMA, eh? See, what a badass. Look at this thing, eh? See, so we went right up there into it. Okay, and we had the topping tail and closed below. We had a bottoming tail, closed right into it. Yesterday got a higher high, but we could not close. And then look at today, we have a lower low. So now we have some very, very critical trading range here. Okay, so you have your 8 SMA at the top and your 21 day on the bottom. So we want to watch this 21 SMA, 84.16. Very, very key level. And then what we do is we'll come right to the bottom of this candle. This is sitting at 84.05. Okay, so you're right there. And then what we do is we just follow these candles down. Right there, you have 83.85. That'll be next. And then we look to the top here at 83.21, and then 83.12. That's what we're going to be going on next. Now, again, if that is lost here, then we can just follow the candles here. Okay, so you have 82.50. We'll have 81.62. And then we always want to go to the left here. That was that breakout of 80.85. And then we have your 50-day coming in there at 80.63 and then 79.68 here on your 200 SMA here. So if this 21-day is lost here, just look right here to the left on these candles here. That will be your good support levels here until we get to the big boys like your 50-day and your 200-day, okay? But again, that's only if this 200-day here is lost. 21-day is lost. So we got to see how this is going to shake out here today. So on the upside, very, very critical, what we're watching is going to be this 8 SMA here. This is that 85.64. Now, you need to close back above here, but you can see how that's rolling over when that price gets below. We all know what happens. Then you're fighting it the whole way, just like when we get on top, it just rides it right up nicely. Okay, so if it can get above that 85.64, then we'll look to the top of this candle. You're looking at 86.11, and then we have your 86.18. Then we can just follow them up here. You have 86.38, 86.63, and then 86.98, 87.11, and then 87.22. And then we have your big retest, and your breakout is 87.67. But we don't worry about that. What we still worry about here is this 8 SMA and this 21 SMA. Okay, so realistically here, we're looking at this candle here, the high of this. You're sitting at 84.49. Okay, that's what we're kind of looking for. So today's low here so far is 84.40. So you're right still into this area. So you can come down and spike down, and that's fine. Just like we had here on this 200 SMA, you can spike down, but as long as it holds it on a closing basis, that's very, very positive here, okay? So watch this here, this 84.49 here to see if this box situation here is in the trading range is holding, just like we had the trading range here and we had this trading range going on here, okay? So I got to see here on a closing basis if that is holding. So right now, okay, it's not looking that bad, but the key is going to be this 21 day. If that is lost, then we just follow it all the way down, all the way possibly down to that 50-day. We'd have to see. Now, RSI, she's rolling down here pretty good. I don't like this. The green cross below the red, that shows momentum, but to the downside. Okay. Now in the weekly, we are still looking good. That's momentum there to the upside. And here what we have is you have a possible bull flag situation going on. Okay, so that's what we want to watch. Okay, when you have that bull flag situation, now again, if it loses the bottom of that candle, that's that 8260, well, that negates that whole pattern. So this is what we're watching, is this bull flag possible, I should say. And then if we can get above that 87.16, 67, well, then we know where we're going to go. Your big target's going to be right there. Let's just call that 90, and then we're going to call that 95 if you can get right above here, okay? But right now, this 8-day is holding everything down 1, 2, 3, 4 days here. Look at that, okay? So now this is going to come to a situation if this 8-day keeps on rolling over, and the 21-day here, that's going to come to a situation if that crosses over, that's very, very bearish there then for crude, because then you're fighting it the whole way. See, look what we have here. When that price gets below that 8 SMA, boom, that's all you're doing is fighting it. Now when it gets above that 8 SMA, see how nice it held? Even though it came down, see, it's holding it all the way up until you get that reversal candle. See, so see the difference there? So we got to see if this can roll back up here again, or if it's going to come right on down. So don't have no opinion. Crude oil could be a long or short here. Okay, just it has to get above that 8 and close above that 85.63 in order for this to go higher. To go lower here, we're going to have 84.16. So our range here is tightening up here very, very tight. Okay, let's take a look here going on with natty gas. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now, yesterday we had a really nice big spike right on up here. Okay, the only thing I could find out would be the weather or maybe this contract roll here coming into play here. We got to see how that all going to shake out. So remember, contract roll is going to be Sunday night. I'll post here on Midday Trading exactly, all for all the months going forward, so you know exactly where the price is going to be going. Okay, so let's just take a look here what we have. All right, so what we had here is what I was looking for is you had a topper and then a red, 3 green, topper, red, 3 green, topper, red, and then we had this indecision candle just like the previous Fridays, okay? But when we had that candle, that red candle that went below, well, that tells it. Now, yesterday, we had that, it was just sitting there like watching paint dry, and then she just rallied right on up here. But you notice that it just couldn't, it got up into it, but it couldn't close above these key levels here, okay? So let's just see what we have here. Now, so far today's low is 1.66, and then what we have here, 1.64. So what you're really doing is you're trading against this 1.649. That's what you're going to be trading against. Okay, right below that is 1.6 level, and then we have this price channel looking at 1.589. So that's going to be on your bottom end of it, okay? Now, here on the upside, well, you want to look at today's high. That's 1.69. And then what we can do is we can look to the bottom of this candle. That's 1.73. And then you're going to come into all this area, okay? Basically, this is all 1.76, 1.77 level, okay? So this is what you're looking for. You got to get above that, close above that. And then we can look at maybe yesterday's high at 1.80. And then we can go 1.85. And then you have 1.89, 1.92, and then we can go up here to 1.94. But right now, lot of resistance here. Doesn't mean now again we could have that. There's that contract roll. See how it gapped up, and then maybe we had that run again here. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. So have patience. That's going to be the key. Is going to be the patience. Okay. So yesterday it was a really nice. Actually, it was really nice trading on the KOLD. I got in late on the UNG, but I still got the 20 cents out of there with 5,000 shares. So I was okay with that, but I got 1.5 there on the KOLD. So I was more than happy with that there. Okay. So that's all looking very, very bearish here right now, I should say. However, so far today is an inside day, but it's way early. So again, what you want to do very simply is watch yesterday's low, 1.649. If that's lost, you're going to go to 1.60, and then here's your target at 1.589. Upside, just watch this 1.76 level. You need to get above it. If you can, then we look at yesterday's high at 1.80. Now, this was looking actually not too bad yesterday, but now we're below this. Okay, so by Friday, if you can't reclaim that 1.74 on a closing basis, this is going to look sideways to down. Okay, just that reality. It's got to get above. Otherwise, this is the scenario that you have, and you can see when you're below that 8 SMA, that 8 SMA just kicks that candle's ass. Okay, once you get above, then you're okay. But now we just have that. Now again, all that's being said here is that, oh, this bearish. Well, yes and no. Okay, what we have here is you have a low, okay, a higher low, and then we have a higher low. So now we have to see where we can actually go from here. So actually, when you look at the big picture, this isn't looking really that bad. You just have sideways trading action. That's all you have here. Okay, so again, it's a scalp trade, both directions, until you can get some kind of a catalyst and let it rip. Okay, let's take a look here on the hourly and the 4-hour. Okay, here we have your 4-hour chart. Now, yesterday we looked at that price channel. Okay, you got down to 1.649. Okay, so I said, watch if that does fall down here. So we had a nice series of higher lows, higher highs. That was very nice. But once we start losing that, okay, then what we do is we came right on down. So I said, watch this gap fill right there. And where it came down to, that gap fill is 1.649. Yesterday's low was 1.649. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Now, again, if that is lost here, what we can do is come over to this green candle, and what do we see here? See, 1.60. That's going to be your next target, and then we have 1.589. Okay, so always look to the left of the chart here. This is what you got, 1.60, 1.589. So that, if this is lost, that's exactly where you're going. But when you look at this chart here, you could also say, hey, wait a minute. This filled the gap. It made this nice higher low here. This could have a possibly run right on up here. So don't have an opinion unless you start losing that 1.64. Then we know that 1.60 is next, and then we know 1.58 is next. Okay, so you have to trade accordingly. Now this here, we had that nice W pattern, but then you had left shoulder, head, right shoulder, came all the way down, but you couldn't hold this area. That was a problem, and it got down to that 1.64 level. So now we got to see if it can hold this. I just don't like this stair step down. Okay, that's really not good. See, you're 50 days on the way down, 100 days on the down, 200 days down. The only way to do is you got to reverse that and get those moving back up, just like we had here. Until then, it's basically sideways to down here on the old natty gas. Okay, I'll be back here midday trading, and we'll see what natural gas and crude are doing, and then we'll throw something else into the mix. And thanks for watching.